Alright, Shalom. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakodash. Double honors to my apostles and elders who teach and rule well. Salutations to the Akim out there laboring of the hopeful elect, doing this work in truth and sincerity. So I want to get into some current events that's going on in the earth. And another major blow to the U.S. Petrol dollar. And as you see, these nations basically forming different alliances. China and Russia are basically bolstering their alliance with an addition to two other countries. Which is Argentina, okay, which has the third largest economy in South America behind Mexico and Brazil. And Brazil is already in the fold of the BRICS, okay, which is controlled by really the heads of it are China and Russia, and it's basically going on the Chinese Yuan, which is a strong currency, and this is a blow to the NWO right here, man, and another country that's being added, and we're gonna feel this pain at the pump very soon. Is Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia now is basically being added on within the BRICS, man. Okay, and they are a major supplier of oil. Okay, in the Middle East. All right, so let's get into the article and let's read a little bit into this. Okay, the BRICS control global energy flow. U.S. loses Saudi Arabia. Argentina closed in exchange for the Falklands. So they have a military deal as well with Argentina. But let's get into the article real quick. Russia's foreign minister Sergei Lavrov has confirmed that Argentina is effectively close to the BRICS, while revealing that the second country that is very close to joining the organization is Saudi Arabia. According to the report, a serious issue has arisen in Iran for the West. Saudi Arabia for years has been a strong ally with the U.S., but now they're making an alliance with China. Okay, so it says Russia and especially China have reportedly promised Argentina armaments to occupy the Falkland Islands at some point, and to control the passage between Greenland, Iceland, and Great Britain. The region also has oil reserves of 8 billion barrels. So now, when you go into the Falkland Islands is off the coast of Argentina, which is British controlled. Okay, so now, just like I've been saying, with this world's war that's coming up, it's gonna be fought on many fronts. But in the Valley of Jehoshaphat, okay, that's gonna be the center of attention at some point. But a lot of these wars are being opened up on different fronts. All right. But we're going to get into the article, because now what's happening now is that let's see. Let's get into the story though. But what's happening now is that a lot of these countries are going to be willing to join China and Russia within the BRICS system, because what the U.S. is doing and NATO is doing basically is any country that crosses them or goes against them, they're basically putting sanctions on them. Okay, so now they're basically trying to start them off through the International Monetary Fund, and a lot of these countries that are heavily in debt to the IMF, are basically, slaves to the U.S. dollar. But this is a lifeline now that China and Russia are throwing out there, man, and joining the BRICS. So now you're having this is the alternative to basically the U.S. petrodollar, man, which controls most of the earth right now. But you're starting to see the tides changing now, okay? And you're starting to see Russia basically backing, having the people that are dealing with them as far as oil changing over the currency to the ruble. Now the ruble now is backed by gold, which is making it a strong currency at the point, man, against the U.S. dollar. You see? Now, we got to understand that the U.S. currency is not backed by anything. It was at a time, but we're starting to see this man trying to basically devalue the dollar purposely, man. But let's go into the article again. So it says, 2 months ago, Saudi Arabia announced that it would begin the transition from the petrodollar to a new currency, the Chinese yuan. In other words, it would price black gold in yuan, and black gold is meaning that oil, And this is a very valuable commodity in the earth, man. This is what really makes the world operate the way that it does, man. And oil basically dictates most everything that's going on in the earth, man. You see? All right. Now it says creating an oil alliance with Russia and China. You see? In the meantime, China and Saudi Arabia have had various meetings. They agreed to work together on the issue of the Houthis of Yemen. There is a communication between the Chinese president and Saudi king on that issue. You see? At the same time, Saudi Arabia has refused to back U.S. British support for rising oil production. You see? Now, but basically to try to ease the pain at the pump, they were asking Saudi Arabia to pump up production of barrels of oil per day. And they refused to do that. So this is going to cause a major issue now with the world economy, man. All right? Now you're going to start to see prices start to skyrocket soon, very soon. You see? Because now you have a major player within the oil production that is basically siding with Russia and China. You see? All right? So it says, again, it says, at the same time, Saudi Arabia has refused to back U.S. British support for rising oil production. Washington and London continue to press Riyadh over the issue. And Riyadh is basically just the capital city of Saudi Arabia. Okay? But they're trying to press them with it. But now Saudi Arabia is having a change of heart and basically going with China and Russia and forming the alliance with the BRICS, man. You see? All right. So now you're starting to see the stronger alliances now being formed. And a lot of these countries that basically have some sort of hatred towards the West will be more less reluctant now. That will be more considering of joining alliance, and really not just a financial alliance, a military alliance. Because now they don't have to worry about the just being put on sanctions, okay, which would really destroy an economy if they decide to go with them. All right, so this is their lifeline. All right, so it says, reading on, it says, therefore, what Lavrov said is grounded. If Saudi Arabia does join, then the BRICS will control the flow of energy at a rate of more than 50%, as Iran will accept their accession. Okay, so now you have Iran now, another major player that's an ally of China and Russia, okay, and a major oil supplier, okay, they're going to actually join the BRICS, man. So you're starting to see a lot of these countries now that would be put on sanctions now. They basically now have a strong financial go-to alienization. Okay, you see, or an alliance, so to speak. Okay, and it says, all these countries, of course, will not trade in dollars. They will have their own currency, and this is how the U.S. always has ruled the world market as far as oil is concerned with the petrodollar, man. Okay, so now that is definitely now coming to an end, because now you have the major players of oil suppliers basically joining in, and it's also speaking of I read somewhere where they're also speaking of Venezuela, okay, which has the largest oil reserves off the coast in the world. All right. And they're going to basically join in. You see? All right. So, let's see. Let's get into this article real quick, and then I'm going to get the scriptures. Okay. This is from basically from. Let's go back. All right. This is from World News 24/7. Okay. And you get some good source of stories, coming on here, man. Okay, because it lets you know exactly what's really going on. All right, but another thing that's going on now is a whole thing between let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Second. Well, anyway, let me hit the scripture real quick, okay? You know, let's go with Obadiah chapter 1 verse 7. All of thy men, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. You know, and this is really what's going to cause NATO to really get in and go to war, man. This is a major threat to their pretty much the dominance of the world currency. Okay, so they have no choice, man, but to be brought to the border, man. You know, all the men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. You know, and a lot of these countries have benefited from, from the basically, the U.S. had benefited from all these countries, man, through the IMF. You know, basically being, and the IMF is really set up to put a country in debt. All right. So now, when the government defaults on a loan, what happens is that, the economic hitmen basically come in, and they basically start to control whatever resources that country produces, man. All right, and it puts it in the hands of takes it out of the hands of the people, man. All right, and a lot of these countries, basically, the U.S. controls a lot of the resources for these countries. You see, all right, but it says, and they that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is no understanding, right? Shall not in that day, saith Yahweh, even destroy the wise men out of Edom, and understanding out of the mount of Esau? You know, and the Lord is destroying the wise men out of Edom, man. Because why? These men have no understanding, man. Okay? You see? These guys are basically digging a ditch, and they're falling in it themselves, man. You see? All right? You know, this whole idea of sanctioning these countries because they crossed them is basically backfiring, man. All right? And now they have a go-to financially through China and Russia. A lot of these countries now would be more willing to side with them, man. You know, financially and really militarily, man. You know, they want to. They basically don't want to be. And the line is going to be drawn in the sand, and you're starting to see these alliances being formed, man. You see? So now, this is really the framework being set up for World War III, man. You know, and now, with this whole, things are going to be fought on different fronts, man. You see? All right. And it says, let's see if I can get any more out of this article. Let's see. Okay. U.S. hegemony overthrown. Saudi Arabia invokes black gold and Yuan. Petroleum alliance with China and Russia. Okay? And you're starting to see that basically, this is basically the other foot dropping, okay? As far as with this currency is concerned, man. And we're going to start to see this hyperinflation take place. We're going to start to see more pain at the pump, okay? With the prices skyrocketing, okay? And then there's a whole situation going on with between Iran and Greece, with them seizing each other's oil tankers, man. And basically what Iran has to do is, once they close off the Strait of Hormuz, which is that narrow passage in the Persian Gulf, which a lot of the oil, a great percentage of oil passes through that Persian Gulf. Once they close that Strait of Hormuz, all bets are off, man. Okay, you're gonna start to see the world economy fall like dominoes, man. All right, but it says here that Saudi Arabia seems ready to break the 1974 agreement with the U.S. and begin the transition from petrodollars to a new currency, the Chinese yuan. So now, the U.S. and Saudi Arabia, they had a long alliance back in 1974 when these Edomites came over there, and I believe it was I want to say Richard Nixon. Okay, he was one of the first presidents to go over to Saudi Arabia and meet with these kings. Okay, these Saudi kings, and basically create that petrodollar from 1974. All right, So now we're starting to see that long bond break. Okay, all right. These men are gonna bring them to the border, man. These people are gonna have to go to war, man. Because why? It's a fight for world dominancy, man. Okay, all right. You know these men are trying to usher in the NWO, and this is a major threat to that, man. Okay, you see, right? It says the information which is transmitted by several American and international media, including Wall Street Journal, causes an earthquake in the American establishment as it is a blow to the heart of the U.S. financial system. You see that? Which took advantage of the dollar reserve by printing as many dollars as needed for the financing of government expenditure over the last decade. You see, and this is why they were printing money and it was being backed by nothing. But what? They still had the dominance over the world through the petrodollar, meaning that when you traded for oil and goods, you had to convert it into US dollars first, then be able to purchase it. Okay? All right? So that's the dominance that they had. All right? But it says, one of the main constants of this last 40 years and a pillar that supported the dollar's character as a global reserve currency was the existence of a global petrodollar-based financial system. You see that? So now it wasn't based on gold or silver, all right, which they took away, but it was based by oil. Okay, all right. This is how the dollar basically had some type of legs to begin with. All right, since 1974. All right, and they basically took away that silver standard where the silver was backed by gold, but they transferred that to the petrodollar. You see, right? These days, however, are coming to an end. Saudi Arabia is prepared for the day when it will cut off its last major link with the United States. Okay, and really we on the cusp of all hell breaking loose, man, because now they basically the financial market is going to spiral out of control. And right now it's very volatile where, you know, it may drop one day, 800 points, and then the next day it may gain, maybe 600 points. But you can't base it on a day-to-day basis, though. You're gonna have to start basing this really on a weekly basis, or even a 2-week basis of the growth or the diminishing of the Dow Jones stock market. You see, all right. So this is basically the other foot dropping where they're gonna have to usher in this new system, man. All right. Making more oil sales in Yuan would link Saudi Arabia more closely to China's currency. And most importantly, other countries will follow, as already reported by World News 24/7. You see? All right? You see, and now we're starting to see the alliances being formed, and it's going to be a military alliance as well as a financial alliance. So now the U.S. sanctioning these countries will have no effect, man. Okay? It will have no effect. All right? So now you're starting to see that the world financial dominance being lost, okay, by the West. Okay? So it says, well-informed sources told the Wall Street Journal that Saudi Arabia was in active talks with Beijing to price some of its oil souls to China in yuan, a move that would reduce the dominance of the dollar in the world oil market from the largest to the world crude oil exporter in Asia. You see? All right? So this place, man, is sinking fast. Okay, real quick. Let's get scripture. All right, let's get Job chapter 18 verse 5. Yea, the light of the wicked shall be put out, and the spark of his fire shall not shine. And we're starting to see the sun setting, man, on the world dominance, man. Okay, all right. The wicked, man, Esau Edom, man. All right. The light of the light shall be dark in his tabernacle, and his candle shall be put out with him. You see, the steps of his strength shall be straightened, and his own counsel shall cast him down. You see, and what was his own counsel? His own counsel was basically, provoking really Russia into going into Ukraine, and by setting up shop, trying to set up shop along the Russian border, man, through Ukraine. You see, All right, and now if anybody tried to cross the NATO, they would put sanction on them. But now you're seeing that it's backfiring now. So you're starting to see the financial alliance being formed, man. Okay, and the major heavy players, okay, that produce oil are siding with China and Russia, man. You see? So it says, for he is cast into a net by his own feet, and he walketh upon a snare. So this is a snare that this man is walking upon, man, because everything is backfiring on him, man. Okay? And really, you know, the world is going to basically turn on this place, man. Okay? On Babylon the Great. You see? All right? As prophesied in the book of Revelations, man. The 18th chapter. Okay? You see? The jinn shall take him by the heel, and the robber shall prevail against him. You know, basically, man, you know, and just like how Jacob grabbed the heel of Esau, man. You know, this man is going to be pulled out of power, man. You know, and this is one of the ways where the Lord is doing it, man. You see? Okay? A snare is laid for him in the ground, and a trap for him in the way. Right? Terrors shall make him afraid on every side, and shall drive him to his feet. You know? All right, so now he's not in no relaxed mode now, man. You know, to where, you know, and this man is not his plan is not going to come into its full fruition, man. He's hitting bumps in the road now. We're starting to see the old what's the saying that they have here? You know, the old monkey wrench being thrown into the thrown in. You see? All right. His strength shall be hunger bitten, and destruction shall be ready at his side. You know, and then really the government really raging war on its own people, man. So you know, so you know, you got the whole thing with this man-made hunger crisis that's gonna go on, this man-made famine, and it's all through the Lord of doing this, man. You see, you know, and morale is very low in this place, man. The people are divided more than ever. Okay. And this place is doomed for destruction, man. You see, all right. So this is really a great article, man. Good read, man. Good read, man. There's a lot more to it, man. But it's actually a good read, man. You know, let me hit one more precept. This is let's go with Jeremiah, 50, verse 9. For lo, I will rise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her, and thence she shall be taken. Their arrows shall be as a mighty expert man, none shall return in vain. So the weapons that are really the thermonuclear missiles, man, have a purpose, man. Okay, and they're gonna do all that what the Lord pleaseth, man. Okay, the Spirit of the Lord is going to be on those missiles, man, as explained in the book of Joel, man. You see? Okay? And it says, and Chaldea shall be a spoil, and all that spoil her shall be satisfied. Just thus saith Yahweh. Okay? You know? And really, this is all because of what, man? Because of what? You know? What you done to the Lord's people, man. Okay? The Lord is gathering these nations together, man. You got to remember. You know, we got to rejoice in this time. And we know, okay, from the milk scripture, man, okay, the Lord is a man of war, man. Yahweh is his name. You see? All right? And all of this, man, the Lord is gathering this all together for his heritage, man. He's going to plead with them for his heritage, man. Israel, man. You see? All right? But it says, verse 11, because ye were glad, because ye rejoiced, O ye destroyers of my heritage. So it's going hand in hand with how the Lord's purpose of destroying this place is going hand in hand with the reasoning for what the Lord is purpose for this place, man. Okay? Destroyers of my heritage. Okay? Because ye have grown fat as the heifer at grass and billows as bulls, man. And this man was this fat cat. You know, United States has been the fat cat of the earth, man. Okay? Now we're starting to see that coming to the end. You know, and really to be fully in tune with these current events, man, that's a major thing that's going on right now with that whole oil alliance, man, with China and Russia, man. Okay, because what the United States tried to do sanctioning Russia, they tried to destroy the Russian economy, man. But it did the total opposite, man. It actually strengthened it, man. Okay, Putin is a very prudent man. You see, all right, and the Lord set this man up to come up against him, man, and and Russia is not part of the beast, man. Okay, you see, the only power that's able to take down Esau in his rulership, man, is another being, another Edomite, man. Okay, with that blessing, the sword, man. Okay, so what more would you have to come up a great nation from the North Country, man, which is Russia, man, to come up against this place, man, because their blessing is also the sword, in which they are also Edomites. You see, all right. So they're gonna be fighting their blessing, their at the top of their blessings, man. Okay, you see. But this place has grown fat as a have that grass, man. You know, fat cat U.S. man. You know, basically controlling the trade flow and able to sanction in countries and starve our countries and basically suck the life out of the resources. This country was able to do that, man. Okay, all right. But now we're starting to see the tides turn. You know, okay. So it says, verse 12, your mother shall be sore confounded, right? She that bare you shall be ashamed. And it's talking about Great Britain, man, because Great Britain's between a rock and a hard place now, man. Okay, why? It's because listen, the whole that's riding on the beast, man, is the U.S., man. So they're being driven to a low place, man. Okay, and this place is gonna be made an example, man, through Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, man. You see, all right. But hey, Great Britain is gonna be ashamed of this place, man. The hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert. You know, and that's talking about here in Babylon, man. You know, because of the wrath of Yahweh, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Every one that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at all her plagues. Put thyself in array against Babylon round about, all ye that bend the bow. Shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she hath sinned against Yahweh. Okay, and this is the purpose of the Lord, man. All right, and it's really what the Lord's fighting for his heritage, man. He's gonna plead with them, and it's also in the epic battle. Okay, it's gonna be in the Valley of Jehoshaphat, man. But this war is gonna be fought on many fronts, man. And we're starting to see the alliances being formed, and we're starting to see the framework of World War III, man. You know, all right. So I just wanted to bring out some quick current events, concerning the state of the dollar, which really this is the second foot that dropped, so to speak, man. This is a major blow, man, to the economy, man. So we're gonna start to see how these markets react in these up and coming days and weeks, man. All right. So with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to my apostles and elders who teach and rule well. Salutations to the Akim that's out there laboring of the hopeful elect, doing this work in truth and sincerity. Shalom.